Well, good morning everybody. My name is Dr. J.D. Swanson. I'm the author of Karate Science. And today what we're going through is part 3 of Heian Yondan. So taking a deep dive and looking at it. So up to last time we got to the end of the Shito-uchi. We're going to carry on with the next set of movements today. So let's get started. Hey, us. Good, so to warm up, what I want you to do is go through the first half of the kata, right? So here, block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, what I would like to do is warm up with that. If you need to, review both the first video and also the second video to look at some of the important points. And something I was talking about in my morning class today was really don't just ever go through kata for the sake of kata. Each time, pick something, right? Kata 50 times wrong is, guess what? Still wrong. So each time pick one point, whether you're going through the entire kata or just part, and fix that. And in my sort of thinking, there's 2 types of errors that you can fix. Systemic, things that are problems in your that can improve overall all of your karate, and then little sort of acute pieces that you can fix for that particular movement in the kata. So again, go through the kata this 9, 10, 11 times up to this point to make sure that you're improving each time you go. That's so important. So with that, press pause, give it a go. Excellent. Okay, so let's move on now. So what we've done, we've come up, we've done our block here, 1, 2, round. Now, this particular movement here, I've seen multiple versions, and I'm going to show you several. For the first one that I'm going to talk about this is the way that I learned it off my instructor, Goran Gluchina, back in New Zealand, who was a student of Kanazawa Sensei. So as you do this movement, and I love this version because it teaches the complete range of motion for this movement. So from here, what you do is you do the kick, then front hand goes down, switch, then drop into the Kosa-dachi. One more time, you're here, make the kick, drop, lift, drop, like so. Couple of things to think about. Number 1 is that nice increase 1, 2, but the next piece is time the elbow dropping with the body drop, right? So I'm here, I've just kicked, boom, boom, time this and this together, and then the rotation of the wrist and the kime point happens as the rear leg connects into the stance. For me, I do this particular movement on a slight hami. I don't square my hips right up because I haven't got the power there. Here, the uchuke position is where I've got both my chest and my back locked in. If I turn further, I lose the power in my back, so I tend not to be square. I have a slight angle to my hip to connect my arm to the rest of my body. But check the timing, that rotation, the actual kime or the focus point of the technique, the end point of the technique is coupled with the rear leg coming in. So once more, it's kick, switch, switch, here. Give that one a go. Again, as you get better at it, initially it might be 1, 2, 3. As you get better now, smooth, 1, 2, 1, 2, then 3. Press pause, give that option a go for a couple of rounds, and then come back. See you in a sec. Okay, good. So you've got that idea of the first one. Once you've got that, all this is this is a larger training aid, a way to develop the other methodologies for doing this move. The different methodologies, and also the other thing it does, it also develops the timing of the elbow, the hands, and all that coming together. The feelings that you feel, the timing of the motion, boom, 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 this, boom, boom, that should always remain no matter which version of this movement you do. So let's move on to other versions. You've got the smelly armpit version, which is here, and the arm circles under, comes under the armpit and out like a raken. And you see people quite often one, and they go, turn this way. This feeling. Here, kick, twist, this version. And that's perfectly okay. The next version is coming up around by the head. So rather than here, all you're doing is just coming in, high, and then drop. So from here, kick, and this time loading, instead of under the armpit, bring it more higher and round. Right, so here, kick, drop, boom, that feeling. That's the second version. The third version, which is one that Steve Ubel tends to use, is he makes use of this forward hand. So when you're here, you kick, push, use this push, push, and strike. So what you're doing is as you're stepping forward, you're literally pushing, or you kick, you push and keep them at bay, keep them at bay, and keep them at bay. His emphasis there is all about these opposite hands, the sort of the in-between, he calls it. So understanding this idea, if you see most of the other, a lot of people just leave this hand kind of hanging. They leave this hand kind of hanging as they move through the motion. What you want to do if you're going to do it his way is use this, and then round, right? So it's this idea of here, push, 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 right? So again, all just derivatives of the first one, but they all interrelate. Using the bones of this, you can then do whichever one floats your boat, or whichever one fits into your association, whatever flavor of shotokan you do. So give those three a go, have a play with them, get the timing right, get the understanding of that particular motion right. The key points: connection point, body, hip, the drop of the body, the drop of the elbow together, and the rear leg, wrist, together. Those are the key points there. Press pause, give that a go for a little while, and we'll move on to the next movements. Excellent. So you're hopefully now raken into Kosa-dachi whiz. Also, a couple of things about Kosa-dachi, just while I'm thinking about it. From here, Kosa-dachi, derivative of Zenkutsu-dachi, right? So just make sure your front knee is nice and bent. From there, rear leg comes in. Boom. The angle of the front foot depends on the flexibility, or where your knee bends naturally in concert with your hips. So for example, if I'm here, what I may need to do is I might not necessarily be able to push fully forward if my hips are turned. I must turn my knee and my foot over my toe, whichever way that is. Don't force your foot to go at a funny angle according to your knee. Again, basic rule of thumb, Zenkutsu-dachi, rear leg comes in and connect, like so. Right, so it's here and here. What does Kosa-dachi do? Why not just make this movement, kick, boom, boom, here? Why not just leave it here? By going into Kosa-dachi, it moves your body forward another couple of inches, which gives it more forward momentum. You're literally just banging into them in this particular case. Right, so it gives you that advantage. And it's teaching you, for example, when you think of Heian Yondan, it has sort of this Zenkutsu-dachi version at the end here. So you've been chasing them down, boom, you finish here. This one says, oh, what happened? I can go further if I need to. And that's kind of what the kata is getting at. Remember, Heian Yondan is just kind of Heian Yondan gone wrong, in a manner of speaking. Okay, so let's move on. So we've come down here. From here, the next movement, there's multiple versions. I'm going to show you the way that I do it, so the way that I teach beginners. So I'll show you Kanazawa's way first, then I'll show you the way I do it to teach beginners, and then I'll show you what that sort of builds to. So Kanazawa Sensei, when I was first introduced to this, it was sort of with the footwork, it was round, foot went, and then you made the technique. So it was sort of here, foot would go out, hips, and everything would sink as it went. Right, it was that kind of feeling. Within the ISKF and JKA, they turn and then expand. So it's that same idea of controlling your center body shift. So from here, what they'll do is they'll turn all the way around, then expand out this way. So the way that I do this, and I noticed that a lot of people have trouble with this, this is an expansion on the first movement. Normally foot here, remember, and we said, just drop your weight and sink out. Drop your weight and sink out. And remember I said about pushing both legs out. That's the key to this. Push both legs and open your hips up. This feeling. So as you make this turn, feel all the way around. And what I do is I actually encourage my students, even though this is not written into the kata, I encourage them to go all the way around to almost Nikoashi-dachi. And then from there, open both legs out to go down into the stance. What I find is that if you just simply turn and this leg's out and I'm ready to go, I've got nothing to push off with my rear leg. I'm relying solely on this, which I find is a little bit more difficult. For me here, open, this feeling, that's kind of helps. So let's just try just the leg pieces. So you can try Kanazawa's version. Here, leg expand. Or you can try all the way around, whoop, sticky floor, and then expand. Right? What I would like you to do is try both those. And if you can do mine with the Kosa-dachi and then out, the penultimate is then to smooth it out. So it's here, I'm in Kosa, I turn and expand. So what it ends up becoming is it ends up becoming this beautiful feeling, because I understand what I learned from doing it this way and doing Kanazawa's way. I can now, from here, turn and expand. Make it all one beautiful smooth movement, even on squidgy mats like I'm standing on. So with that, give just the legs a go, and then we'll talk about the upper body in a second. Excellent. So you've given just the legs a go now. Now the next piece is combining that with the Kikiwakyuke. One thing that's really important is that this technique, for me, and there's multiple ways to do this. I'm going to show you, there's ones where they come from the chest and push out, ones from where it's parallel and come down. There's one where they come out and back, right? They all have strengths and weaknesses. They all have merits, yeah? For me, being a big guy, I prefer high and down so I can maximize the use and the feeling of my elbows compressing down. The second thing is my hands and my wrist only has the feeling of moving forward towards my opponent in space. I never pull it back, okay? So whether I'm going here or going here, it's only moving forward in that direction. I never pull back. Okay, and to me, pulling back is counterproductive to the technique after you get head-butted if you're using this to sort of wedge between. The final position, so for me, I load mine, so one load can be here, palms face you, the other load is here where your humerus is parallel to the floor, looking out this way, so your hands must come under and up. Then from here, think elbow compress, chest, back, yeah, this feeling. The other thing that's important is for me, I tuck my elbows, I leave it in uchuke position. So my normal uchuke position is here. This of course is connected round like so. If I turn that, notice I have a slight outward angle to my technique. Not this, it's just natural here, right? Normal uchuke position turned over. And it gives it this sort of inverted or this sort of V. Sensei Riley actually does his more with his arms slightly inwards, okay, because it's a wedge block and his emphasis is here. For me, I find when I'm doing it kata-wise, I'm thinking about this. When I'm doing it practically against somebody, I find quite often that Sensei Riley, as he always is correct. This kind of feeling. Again, for my own training, I keep this in to prevent my elbows escaping. So I really think about this connection between my back and my chest, which forces my elbows in. If I don't, if I'm sort of slack and I think here, then this gets relaxed. So my advice, think here, but understand that the actual shape will end up being here. The key point is that this elbow must be fist width off the body and connected to your chest and your back, and you can feel that connection, not loose and left in space. Look, Ma, I'm driving a car, right? This feeling. So, as you move, as you make this movement, feel here, and when I'm teaching green belts, purple belts, that kind of thing, I break it down, and to sort of quote one of my good friends, Simon Bly, this feeling. So it's that definite sort of 1-2. Around and up, and everything stops together. Then connect down. Notice the path. Under and up. Under and up. Elbow connected to the body. Then, as it goes out, all together. Not separate. Together. Together as they move. You want that particular feeling. So allow that to happen. What I would encourage you to do is practice it in the 1-2 mode. And again, if you do it from the chest, around, same. If you do it high, in and up, down, right? Either or. Once you're good at that, once you've got that timing of this and this, then you can make it smoother, yeah? So it can be here, 1, 2, which is more what you want, is more that feeling. But again, just like everything, you've got to break down these compound movements into their requisite parts to be able to understand and do them correctly. Right? So, give that a go, and then we'll come back with the last 2 points for today, or in terms of the 2 punches and the kick. Give it a go. Excellent. So you're now down, boom, here. Now from here comes the kick. The way you want to imagine this, to quote Sensei Kathy Klein, is pretend like you're flying a plane and kick through the hole. Don't kick outside of the hole. You'll be surprised at how many people do that. The second thing is keep your lower body completely separate from your upper body. Keep your gun sights where they need to be. So as you make the kick here, keep this right where it needs to be. Don't allow them to shift. Then as you step down, simply straighten this arm. Don't punch. So we're here, kick, push. We're here, right? Kick, punch. Like so. Notice where hip pushes in, driving down. This particular punch, or the kick, sorry, I think I did those last 2 chudan. The kick, of course, here, Jordan, push. Right? Why Jordan? Because this is in kokutsu, everything's close, it's a knee. How do you teach somebody a knee and still have them practice karate? You have them kick Jordan. It lifts the knee higher, makes it more into that practical piece that you need. So, as you do the kick, Jordan, here, allow and keep this here. This particular punch is not a percussive type punch. It's simply expand into them as your body weight drops kind of punch. A similar movement to that is like in Heian Yondan. Here, and then that push. That idea that I can now generate lots of power by simply rotating my hip and pushing. This is the same feeling, but now with a little bit of shtick stuck behind it. So this shouldn't feel powerful, but get someone to stand there when you just drop your body weight in. Again, I weigh about 195 pounds. As I drop in, with that coming in, it destroys them, right? The other thing is that it's also setting target. By dropping down, if I percussively hit them, they may go back here. It sets the target, then I can drive my second punch in. So from here, feel, kick, punch, punch. So again, vibration, vibration. Here, kick, punch, punch. That feeling. So with that, give those things a try. Make sure, Jordan Maigiri, drop and push. Don't move these arms. Drop and push, expand, then expand. Feel vibration in the hips each time. That slight micro rotation with the push and the drive of the rear leg each time. Don't make it empty. Make it drive. Make sure that's there. Give that piece a go and we'll round up for today. Excellent. So what I would like you to do is practice the entire kata up to the first one of these. Think about the points that we covered today, the different applications of these. Think about the different ways that you can come in and the smoothness of your hip and the smoothness of the way that you can use both legs to expand out. Think about the synchronicity of the arms into the kikiwakyuke. Then finally, think about the way that your body center controls the drop of this punch and then the second punch. Think about how, which is the theme of this kata, how you control your body center within different movements of the kata. And that's really the key to Heian Yondan. So with that, that's all we've got time for today. What we'll do next time is we'll finish out the kata. This is a 4-part monster. But Heian Yondan, in my mind, Shotokan becomes really difficult, At Heian Shodan, brand new kata. Nidan Sandan teach you some pretty cool points, but expand on. Heian Yondan is where the rubber hits the road. And then the next real big scary one, of course, is Tiki Shodan. Right, so as you think through that, and that gives you really nice preparation as you go through all the hands that build towards these points, that gives you that awesome preparation. So with that, hope you have an awesome day. Don't forget, if you like this video, do subscribe on YouTube. I do appreciate it, do like it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You know, I'll probably cry myself to sleep, but that's okay. It happens more often than what you might think. So with that, have a good day, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, take care. Hey, us.